Now, urgent evacuations are underway in Umlazi, where heavy rains triggered dangerous mudslides in Section 8H. About 50 houses are at risk of collapsing as the saturated ground continues to shift beneath them. The Department of Human Settlements has begun moving more than 1,200 residents to safety, while provincial and national leaders are preparing to visit the area. We now cross live to Nobuhle Modise, who's on the ground in Umlazi. A very good afternoon to you, Nobuhle. How are those emergency evacuations going so far?
A very good afternoon, Masa. So when we spoke to the Department of Human Settlements, what they mentioned was that these evacuations did start over the weekend. You'd remember that heavy rainfall between Thursday and Friday is the reason why some of these homes, collapsed, whereas many of them were ticking time bombs with cracks showing in most of the houses here where I'm standing. I mean, even the one behind me, you can see, has completely collapsed. But the reality of many of the homes here is many of them have cracks, and this is all because of prolonged rainfall over a long period of time. I mean, even this particular area where we are standing in the house that we're showing you, the Umlazi River flows through here, and there had been homes just close to that riverbed that were here and were swept away during the April 2022 floods. Now the homes around here are notwithstanding these inclement weather conditions, and many of them, the cracks have been showing, and they've all been collapsing at different times, depending, on which part of the area they are in. And when we spoke to residents of this area, I mean, this area is almost close to 30 years old, and some of those who, have the background and the history of the area would tell you that there had been some surveyors who had surveyed the land in the past and deemed it not habitable in terms of, you can see even where it's located. It's located right next to a riverbed, this particular part of Umlazi, that is, and on top of that, it's on sleeps and slopes, and this is why when there's heavy rainfall, you would see those mudslides occurring. But despite that, this area had been deemed as not habitable. But besides that, houses were constructed, RTP houses, by the government, and these are the same houses that are now collapsing as a result of the inclement weather conditions. We did speak to some, community members earlier on who were explaining that if their houses collapsed, they would then move to the neighbors' homes, and then those homes would collapse, and it would just be a recurring cycle of them, just trying to shelter each other whenever there are these conditions. And the reason why we are seeing the Human Settlements Department now undertaking these emergency evacuations is because the community has said that this is not safe, and they're not going to wait for anybody to die first before they ask for help and put their hands up and say to the government that you need to come and assist us. And this is something that's been happening over a period of time. And like I said, obviously that inclement weather just exacerbating the situation, and some houses collapsing under the pressure. So this is the situation here in Umlazi H section, and we know that the Human Settlements Minister is in the province, and she will be visiting areas in Umlazi, not particularly this area tomorrow, but we know that she will be making her rounds in and around the city to ensure that those who need temporary accommodation are indeed assisted as they make plans to ensure that people are moved to more permanent residence in and around the city.
Nobuhle Modise, thank you so much for that update, reporting live from Umlazi in KwaZulu-Natal.